You know that bright orange packet of bujia, right? Of course you do. But what if I told you the story behind it involves betrayal, starting from absolute zero and building a global empire? Yeah, it's a wild ride. Today we're diving into the incredible, true story of Haldiram's. Okay, just to give you a sense of the scale we're talking about, let's look at the then and now. Back in 1919, you've got a kid selling snacks for, get this, 2 paisa, a tiny, tiny fraction of a rupee. Now, you fast forward to today, and that little street snack business is a global empire pulling in over 9,000 crore rupees in revenue. That's just staggering. So the big question is how? How on earth does that happen? How does one man, Ganga Bishan Agarwal, who the world would soon come to know as Haldiram, turn a simple street snack into this massive enterprise? Well, that's exactly the journey we're about to explore. All right, let's start at the very beginning. We're in Bikaner. A young Haldiram is learning the ropes, making bujia in his granddad's little shop. But you know what? He wasn't the kind of guy to just stick to the old family recipe. No, he was obsessed, completely obsessed with making it better. And you can see his genius right from the get-go in 3 key moves. First, the recipe. He decides to add moth dal, which was a big deal in Rajasthan, and bam, you got this totally unique, delicious taste. Second, the texture. He tinkered and tinkered until he invented a new, finer mesh, which made the bujia perfectly thin and crispy. The new process meant the quality was unmatched in the Bikaner market. It was this attention to detail that transformed a street snack into a strategic asset. And third, the branding. This was a masterstroke. He named it Dungar Sev, after a beloved local Maharaja. All of a sudden, it feels premium, right? And that meant he could charge more for it. See, what you've got to understand is that from the very beginning, he wasn't just selling a snack. By nailing the taste, the texture, and the branding all at once, he was creating a whole experience. That's what set him apart. So as you can imagine, the shop was a huge local success. He was the man. But then, just as he's at the top of his game, at 36 years old, his entire world just collapses. In 1944, a family dispute left Haldiram without a home or his business. He lost everything. Everything. Zero. Overnight, he, his wife, his kids, they're on the street. I mean, this is absolute rock bottom. Can you even imagine? His entire future, his family's future, came down to a 100 rupee loan from an old childhood friend, just a small favor being repaid. That tiny amount of money, that was everything. It was the lifeline. But this is where the story gets incredible. What he does next is just a masterclass in not giving up. He takes that 100 rupees, rents a tiny house, and starts over with his wife Shampa Devi selling moong dal from a cart. Soon he brings back his legendary bujia. And because people remembered that unforgettable quality, his old customers came flocking back. Incredibly, within a short time, he opened a new shop and reclaimed his title as the Bujia King of Bikaner. But he wasn't about to stop there. Reclaiming Bikaner was just the start. The next chapter is all about expansion. And let me tell you, it's a brilliant lesson in how to take over new markets. And this wasn't some random expansion just throwing darts at a map. Oh no, it was super strategic. It kicks off in 1955. Haldiram himself spots a huge untapped demand for bujia in Kolkata. Years later, his grandson Shiv Kishan realizes Nagpur is crazy about sweets, so that becomes their angle. And then the big one, 1982. They decide to tackle Delhi, specifically the super crowded, hyper-competitive Chandni Chowk. So what was the secret to making it work in all these different places? It was simple: adaptation. They were smart enough to know they couldn't just do the same thing everywhere. So in Kolkata, they came up with a Bengali mixture for local tastes. In Nagpur, they leaned into the sweet tooth with Kaju Katli, and it was a smash hit. And in Delhi, they won by focusing on what everyone already loved: amazing samosas and kachoris. And the strategy in Nagpur, oh, this was just brilliant. To get people to even come into the shop, they started by selling popular stuff like dosa and idli. Once they had a crowd, then they'd bring out samples of their own snacks. It was like a Trojan Horse strategy. And this idea, this shop that's also a restaurant, became the blueprint for all their future growth. So with this new tech, they went big, and they did it with a super clear four-part plan. 1. Product. They exploded to over 400 different items. Crazy. 2. Price. They made sure there was something for everyone, from a little 5 rupee pack to a big family-sized bag. 3. Packaging. They made it bright, colorful, eye-catching so you'd just grab it. And 4. Placement. They built a massive network to get their stuff into literally every nook and cranny of the country. And what was the result of all this? Incredible diversification. They weren't just the Bhujia king anymore. They became the one-stop shop for pretty much any Indian craving you could possibly imagine. Snacks, sweets, even ready-to-eat meals. They truly created a snack for everyone. So let's bring it all together. After this incredible century-long journey of innovation, resilience, and smart strategy, what are we left with? Well, we're left with a legacy of staggering proportions. It all comes down to this one mind-blowing number: 9,000 crore rupees in annual revenue. Just think about that for a second. An empire built from a simple snack that sold for 2 paisa. The scale of that transformation is almost hard to wrap your head around. You know, this story leaves us with some really timeless lessons. A relentless focus on quality, a commitment to constant innovation, the wisdom to adapt to new markets, and maybe the most important one of all, pure resilience, the grit to get back up after being knocked down to zero. When you really think about it, the story of Haldiram's isn't really about Bhujia at all. It's a powerful reminder that with the right mix of innovation, grit, and an obsession with your customers, even the humblest beginning can build a world-changing legacy. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What could your simple idea become? Subscribe to LBC.